Hey everybody, welcome to Mark's Basement Arcade EM and Chat Repair. I am back after a couple weeks off. Um, had a lot of overtime, had a birthday weekend, and I'll probably not be on next Sunday, but I think I'm going to do Saturday. If Saturday's open, we'll do Saturday. Picked up a new game behind me. Got a couple clues here. I'm not telling you what it is. You just got to figure it out. I'll be making a video next week, and I'll be putting it on my YouTube channel. I just posted a link up there, so please subscribe. Today we are going to be working on the Spanish eyes. We're going to get the ball count unit rebuilt. I'm going to put the replay unit on free play, and then I'm going to go through the relays probably, clean them up. I think that's about it. I still only haven't got parts for the match unit, but I did remember I have a Williams unit somewhere. I don't know where it is exactly, but I do believe I have parts for it. Not all the parts. I might have to buy the bell clanging part. I will have to look. I really don't want to take that out of there, so I'm going to try my best to keep it in there. So let's go there. And I got myself a Stream Deck for my birthday. It's like one of the first years I actually got something that I wanted for my birthday that I actually asked for. So thank you for the Stream Deck, and everybody else thanks for the cards and letters and gifts that you gave to me on my birthday. Actually, it was my wife's and I birthday and our anniversary celebration. Since last year kind of sucked and we couldn't do anything, we decided just do it all this year. So anyways, I guess let's get on to this match unit. Let me grab my TV, well, my monitor, and we'll turn it this way so you can see me work. And I guess that's about it. So if anybody's just joining us, this is Spanish Eyes, and I left my cordless screwdriver over on the side. Hopefully it's got good batteries in it. I haven't used it in a while. Where's there it goes. Yeah, I got good batteries. Alright, I'm a little rusty, everybody, and I left my phone upstairs. Let me go grab my phone real quick. Alright, I'm here. Then, flicker you just saw was me turning off all my lights, and I totally forgot. I'm just giving somebody a notification. Alright, I haven't touched this machine since last time we were together. I think the only thing I did was move it. So let's get to this mechanism. So you know what I always tell you, pictures. Lots of pictures. Even though I've done these a billion times, I still take pictures because I always forget. Let me send somebody a link. And why am I not on Wi-Fi? Auto join. Twitch. Share. Copy. And there you go. You get yourself a link right there. Alright, so we got a couple pictures. We're going to do first is I need to loosen the finger assembly, and I have to mark it so we know where it goes back together. So what we're going to do first is we're going to advance it and then de-advance it. I'll mark this as the top right here, and I'm going to mark this finger right there. I'll show you once I get it apart. Oh, my nose is itchy. What we're going to do right now is I'm going to stick a screwdriver in the slot here, so when I take a ding a ding ding, when I take this bolt out, I can actually loosen it without the whole mech trying to advance on me, because that's what will happen if you do that. I need to move my TV over a little bit so I can see. There. My TV's my monitor, that way I can see if anybody's chatting. Right now nobody's there. It says I got 3 people watching. If you're watching, if you want to chat, just join. It's for free. Doesn't cost you anything to join. And please follow. Alright. I get this bolt almost all the way out. Oh yeah, and if you're going to be at the Midwest Gaming Classic, you can buy this game if you want. It will be for sale. Magnet. I knew I'd forget a couple tools. I always need a magnet. It helps out a lot. Helps you get weird stuff off. Stuff that doesn't want to come off. Alright, there's the bolt. There's the thing. Let's get my screws out over here. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get at that. I don't think so. Oh, man. Can I get it this one? Yeah, I can get it that one. What we're going to have to do is take this finger assembly off so I can get at the screw. Here's that line I said I was putting on it. This way I know what's the top. Looks like somebody marked it as the one at the bottom. I got a sleeve here. Now can I get at this bolt? Yes. What I like to do is I like to take these out. It just makes it a little easier to work on. It makes it a lot easier to work on. Makes it a lot easier to work on. That's why I work on them on a table. It's a lot easier. There we go. Now I can get to this side really easy to clean it, and I can get this side really easy to clean it, and it's already nasty. Alright, So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the spring off. See how many twists it has. Usually it has 3 to 4. So we got 1, 2. It had 2, unless I loosened it up when I switched it around. I'm in a little drawer here. That's my parts holder. Yucky. All right. Just taking all those out. They're getting them out of my way. What is this? Some gunk. Thought it was a spare washer somebody put in there. Now we're gonna loosen this up. Where did I put that? I know I brought my little screwdriver over here, or didn't I? I didn't. I was going to bring it over here, and then I realized I don't need it, and now I did need it. So we want to move this out of the way so we can get this wheel off and clean the gears. So what I normally do is I loosen this back screw up a little bit, and I'll take this front screw totally out. This allows me to swing this completely out of the way, and I'll put the screw back in to hold it like that. Now I can take this wheel off. Let me get my rag over here. Maybe we'll zoom in a little tighter. Alright. So what I did is I took the screw out and put it off to the side so we can get this stuff out. Now we're going to take this little C-clip off. Really careful. And I highly recommend when you do clean one of these for the first time and you get the C-clip off, take it to the hardware store, match it up with some more, and buy yourself some spares. Because chances are you're going to lose these once in a while, and you don't want to lose them. And then there's a washer on that too. Let me set my stuff in separate piles. That goes over here. This goes there. That goes with that. Trying to put all my stuff in separate little piles so I know what goes with everything. Keeps it together a little bit. Alright, we got that off. Now we can take this monster off. Throw it in there also. Now this will just slide right out. Oh wow, they just wrapped this around so crazy. Why do people do this? Let's just twist this out, can we? It's got this bend loop in it to hook onto the tooth here, but it looks like somebody did a little number on it and decided to wrap it around because they didn't know what they were doing. It's either that or this thing did it to itself, which could have happened. Okay, let's get out of there. Try not unspring it. There we go. Come on, get out of there. There we go. Now as we see this, like I said, this piece right here, this will just sit into any wheel part like that. and it will allow it to keep itself tensioned. But somehow it got wrapped around here, which is a no-no. And I think I'm going to clean this right away. I think the more I clean this stuff right away, the less I'm going to get everything else not dirty. This is naphtha. Ding ding. It's naphtha. I keep it in a little bottle just to keep me from contaminating other parts. That's nasty dirty. A lot of people take their naphtha and they'll dump it onto a rag and they'll clean something, and then they'll come back and take that same dirty rag and they'll shake their naphtha on it, you know, like this, and then they'll just contaminate their whole bottle of naphtha or alcohol. So I like to just take that little squeeze bottle and I can just squeeze a drop onto a rag, and it's clean, it stays clean, and it doesn't contaminate anything. Okay, we got this clean. This does not need to be greased here. This should never be greased. These are nice, sharp, and pointy like they should be. And so let me get my... I thought I was prepared today. Green scrubby pads. What I will do is I will go on here and clean this off. And get the shaft nice and clean and gunk free. Here we go, that's pretty clean. I want this area right here clean and this whole shaft cleaned. And I didn't bring my grease over either. Boy, you weren't prepared at all. We're not prepared. I did get most of my tools out. Alright, this is clean. Let's get that out of the way. Let's clean this off. This is horrible. Here we get that clean off. We're going to clean this shaft off. That's cleaned off. Alright. I'll just wipe this crud off here. And we'll go to the side. And we'll wipe this off. Let me get a little more. We're going to be cleaning this off a little bit more. I just want to get as much of the junk off of it as I can. Yeah, see, they put a mark here for that. They marked it different, which is nothing wrong with it. It's just this lines up with that. I made this line up with that. So it works both good either way. Alright, I guess we could clean this right away too. Let me get a newer one. Makes it a little easier cleaning when you get a nice fresh one. Now this is another controversial thing. What do you clean your stepper up with? People use Brasso, some people use Carnex, copper cleaner, metal polish, steel wool, sandpaper. It's all fine. I really don't recommend steel wool anywhere for cleaning. just want to get those clean. You don't need to get the whole thing clean because you're only getting to where these contacts go. So probably about right up to here where my thumb is. I don't recommend steel wool for cleaning any of this stuff because steel wool, it does shed. This sheds too. But steel wool is conductive. This isn't. This wears out and it leaves little green dust everywhere. So which is good. Little green dust you can clean up. It doesn't short anything. It won't cause sparks or anything like that. That's why I like this green pad. Now another thing too people say about this, they say it's so abrasive. Sandpaper is abrasive too. Polishing compounds like Mother's Meg wheel cleaner, that's got some abrasive in it. How else do you think it cleans and polishes? Now with this thing, you know how long I would have to rub on here to wear this completely away? I'd probably be here for days. This whole pad would be gone. I'd have to get several pads out probably to wear through these contacts and destroy them. So when people say, you know, it's so abrasive, I'm like, no, it isn't. Like I said, I could probably go here for days rubbing on this and it would never wear through. My hand would go numb and fingers bleed and everything like that before I would do any damage to the board. Alright, let's wipe that off. That is perfectly clean now. Look at that. That's nice shiny again, just as we want. So I'm going to clean this washer off. That goes right here behind the fingers or speeder. What do you call it? Hey Turbo, what's up? Working on the Spanish eyes. Just trying to get back to the swing of things, and when you haven't worked on EMs or any machines for a while, it doesn't feel comfortable for some reason. Like I thought I had all my tools and everything laid out, and all of a sudden I'm like, oh, I need this. Oh, I need that. I need this. I'm just like fumbling. Alright, I'm just going to clean off these. Just using my little green scruffy pad. Nope, I didn't get a Star Trek. There's James T. Kirk is one clue, and the other thing is another clue to the game. So there's 2 clues, 2 words. Just picked it up today. Yeah, somebody did guess it. Put it that way. Somebody did guess it. I can give you the clues again. Well, you've probably seen the pictures. I can't tell you what either is, because if I mention what one of them is, you will figure it out. This is bent like crazy. Somebody did a number on this and bent this really, really wonky. I need to get my display, my TV out a little bit better so I can see it. So when I focus in on it, you guys can see what I'm talking about. Manual focus, okay. There we go. You see that's just bent. Yeah, there you go. It's supposed to be a nice arch, and this is like bent in steps. So we don't want that. Manual focus. There we go. I got to loosen that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to get the bends out of it. Ryan, I missed your stream on Friday. I couldn't even watch it. I had to work Saturday. You know, I normally tune in, but I had to go to bed as soon as you guys started. So I wanted to see that machine too. Right, some of these are just bent too crazy. And I guess next week I'll be watching you on a new channel. So you want to tell everybody the news that is on here? Tell them what you're doing and where you're doing it now. So Ryan TurboGrafx 7 is a pinball streamer, and he's streaming on Twitch on a new channel. So yeah, Ryan, if you want to put all your details out there, go for it. Alright, this is clean. This is perfectly clean. And everything seems to be bent good. I don't know how good it will be until I get this back on and have it start spinning around. But everything seems to be where it should be, just about. I think it will be good. See how twisted everything is. It's twisted real bad. There you go. Buffalo Pinball. Fridays, 8 p.m. Central. Congrats, guys. You guys deserve this new opportunity for your streaming. Okay, that's perfect. I think that's good. I just want to make sure, because this is going to be hid once I put it back on. I don't like this one either. It's just bent crazy. Just trying to get these bent good. No problem, anytime. Anytime, just trying to help you guys out with your everything. That's what we're all here for in the pinball community. Help each other out. Do what we can for each other. Alright. That, I believe, is good. Like I said, I won't know until I get it on there totally. I'm going to have to put this on first, and then put that over to see how it looks before I button it all back up. So, alright, let's get at these coils. Now I'm going to need a longer screwdriver. Didn't I have one here? Yes, I did. Take these two screws out. We're going to clean this coil off. We're going to put a new sleeve in it. So that's what we do on the machines. New sleeves, clean the coil off, clean everything off. This way when you put it back together, you'll have a fully reliable machine. That looks good. And you probably won't have to touch it for umpteen years. And that's the whole goal about why I do these, well, do this to these machines. So I'm bringing them back to life. And this way this game should operate easily for 40 years. with maybe little minor adjustments here and there. And it should be flawless for all these years. And look at that, it comes out like butter. And whoever buys it will have a perfectly good running machine. We're going to clean this up too. We're going to degrease it. And oh yeah, people. Okay, yeah. Have a good one, Ryan. Take care. We're going to degrease this. Do not grease these, people. Please do not grease these. These do not have any grease. And I have to do a little filing on here. This has been beaten around for a long time, sloppy. Hope I got a file over here. I'm gonna have to go get my file. Let's I'll just run over there. Do. Alright, we got a file. We're gonna I'm just going around taking a burr off the edge. I'm actually spinning it a little bit. These sometimes will get a little mushroom edge to them, and you want to remove that. You want to get all that off. Let's widen you out a little bit easier. We want this to be smooth. Where is that rough? I probably got too aggressive of a file too. That's what happens when you're not prepared. Just grab what you can real quick. Ding, ding, ding. All right. So what's everybody doing today? You're out there. Don't be afraid to chat. Otherwise you're just going to hear me talk all 2 hours or so, however long we're on. This thing got some good burrs on it. So anyways, I am Mark from Mark's Basement Arcade. And there's my channel. And it takes me seconds to do that now, because I got a new stream deck for my birthday. I think that's good. I might have to get a different file. Yeah, I gotta grab a different file. This one's just a little bit too aggressive. Oh yeah, that's much better. I got a real fine file. I'm just taking that smashed edge off of it. How's that now? Almost gone. I think that's nice now. And this we will clean off with the green scrubby pad. I just want to make sure this is really good on the end. You can see where it's been hitting the coil stop. Like that. This machine really wasn't taking care of its life. Yeah, that's good. But it's getting taken care of now. Alright, that's clean. Let's put a little more naphtha on here. Let's get to this coil. We're going to clean off the dirt off of it. Make it look clean and new. This dirt that I'm cleaning off does not affect any use of it. It just makes it look nicer. This does not need to be cleaned off. It just looks nicer. Figure we're cleaning everything else. Let's make this look as pretty as it can. Alright, there's that. Coil sleeve goes in. You lay over there. Clean off the crud off here. Get that all cleaned off. Okay. There. We get that cleaned off. That way everything's a little cleaner. This goes back in here. This will go like that. This will go like that. And then hopefully we can get this twisted enough so I can see where the screws are. Is this screwdriver magnetic? Probably not. Let's make it magnetic. My little magnetizer. There we go. Now it's magnetized. Tell you one thing, magnetizing your tools can be so helpful when you're working on these. Be super helpful. There we go. That's one in. That's two in. Now what's nice about that little magnetizer, I can demagnetize them too. Alright. Let's get the other screwdriver down here. Sorry if I'm in your way, but normally if I'd work on this machine, I'd make it comfortable for me, not for you. I'm trying to do this so you can see it easier. Q-tips. Just regular Target Q-tips. I like these Target ones better than regular Q-tips because they're cheaper. They do the exact same job as a Q-tip brand. So why waste money? That is clean when you don't need to. That was actually really clean inside. Yeah, wow. This is another thing I highly recommend. Super Lube. I use this a lot. You can use this or a PBR grease. I like the Super Lube. You can get that from Harbor Freight. It's cheap. It does the job. Alright, now we're gonna be taking this coil stop off with the plunger. So if you ever worked on one of these, chances are you probably worked on it while the head is attached to the machine, which is fine and dandy. That's how I used to do it all the time. But then after dropping so many screws down into the machine, I realized this is so much better to work on it like this. Oh wow, that sleeve's coming right out. And I highly recommend, this is the original sleeve, it's the metal one. I highly recommend taking the glass out when you do this. Oops. Take the glass out, because if you drop anything down, chances are you're going to drop it right on the back of the glass and you may scratch it. And you don't want to do that. So I have a little cabinet. I take all my back glasses, and I put them in there for all my games. I have like, I think 3 in there right now. Keeps them safe. They're in climate control. You don't have to worry about them. That's nice and clean. That's in okay shape. It's got a little burr on it. There. Clean. Clean this coil up. So, is anybody going to the Midwest Gaming Classic November 5th through 7th? I put a link up right there for you. MidwestGamingClassic.com. Check them out. If you're into anything gaming, it doesn't have to be pinballs. It doesn't have to be video games. Gaming, cards, console, computer, all that. They have vendors, role playing, everything there. There'll be food. I think there's going to be 1 or 2 cars there. There might be some famous people there. I'm hoping there's going to be one other famous person. I'm hoping he's going to be there. But no, the Midwest Gaming Classic is about everything gaming related. If it's gaming, they have it. Pinball, video games, cards, console, all that good stuff. Little burr right here. I gotta get my other little files. This one's too big. These are a great file set too. Harbor Freight. You can't beat these either. They're great. They got a nice little handle on them. They do the job. They're great for EMs, getting in out of the weird little spots. Let me get a different one. This one a little flatter. Yes. That side's really nice. This side's beat. This one's got a nice owl right there. We're going to take that owl off. That's just from not being taken care of for all these years. Nobody cleaning it. It gets gunked up. It's got to work harder than it normally does. And it's just normal wear. This is a metal and metal part, so I usually put a little lube on them. It helps fix the issue of the wear. I'm just getting the sharp spots off of it, because that will just accelerate any wear. Alright, I believe that's good. Clean that off. Oh my goodness, my fingers are just filthy. We'll clean that off. Yuck. Let's clean my hands off. Cleaner my hands are, the cleaner the parts are going to be. Again, this is just naphtha. You can use alcohol. I don't like it, the alcohol, too much. I like it for certain things where I want it to drive really fast. I like the naphtha better. It's kind of like a cleaner degreaser. I'll throw those over there. Alright, we got this all cleaned off. This. I'll slap our new coil sleeve in there. Yeah, that's all cleaned off. We got our new plunger. Well, not our new plunger, but it's kind of new now, because we got all the crud off of it. Alright, let's get our coil stuff down in there. And if you like what I'm doing, and if you want to see it in a lot more detail, I have a YouTube channel, Mark's Basement Arcade on YouTube. You can find me there, and I have tons of how-to videos on doing all this into even more detail, so you can check those out. Move this over here so I can get a better straight shot to the screws. Not tighten them down all the way. I'm going to squeeze this together with my hands, and then give them that last little bit of tighten. Alright, and get the bigger screwdriver on there. Well, I ate a donut not too long ago, and I'm just buzzing like crazy from it. I don't eat too much sweets anymore. So I'm telling you, that's really making me fly. Okay. That I didn't put on all the way. But yeah, man, that sugar from that donut is just making me fly. Alright, that's what happens when you get old, I guess. Alright, that's all clean. My hands are pretty much clean. Alright. So what we're going to do, we're going to take our lube. No, let's, yeah. I'm going to take a little bit. I use my pinky for some reason. My pinky I usually don't get dirty. Or put some lube on the shaft. And the shaft. Not a lot. Just a little coating. Remember, this is metal to metal. And if you can keep metal to metal clean and lubed, your parts are happier. We're going to get to this piece. We're going to clean that off too. This has good, it's nowhere. I will show you where we're going to lube on this too. And I got to get my other lubricant out too. Man, does that donut make me fly. I'm going to tell you something about when you get older and sugar, they don't seem to mix well. For years, I would get my physicals, and my doctor would be like, Mark, your blood sugar level is very high. You need to do something about it. Because once you hit a certain threshold, you cannot go back. You're diabetic then. And I went right to that edge stupidly. I was getting to the point, like right now, where I drink soda, regular Coke all day. Coke, Mountain Dew, whatever. I drink that all day, and I just was like, get sick all the time. Like buzzed. And yeah, I went right to the edge, but I didn't go over. And then one day I'm like, you know what? Quit drinking soda, and I switched to diet. And when I did that, I felt good again. So I've been drinking diet soda, and I feel good all the time now. Now this piece right here, we're going to put a little bit of lube. Oh, I say lube, funny. A little bit of lube right on the edge there. Reason why that rides in there. So now we got that lubricated. So we won't get any more wear in here. Perfect. Where's my phone? Remember I always say take pictures? Okay, that goes next. And then washer goes on top of it. See, like I said, I don't even remember where this stuff goes. You gotta take pictures. And why another reason why I always say take pictures is because all of a sudden your wife or whatever says, "Hey, I got an emergency, come here quick." And then you go fly upstairs or wherever, and then something happens where you're not back to it for a day or hours or whatever, and your just head went frazzled because of some emergency, or you get a message, "Hey, I got this pinball machine deal right now, come pick it up." You know, so you leave. I've done that before. And then you're not back to your thing right away, and then you're like, okay, I remembered where everything went, but now I don't. This is why I always say take pictures. This way you don't have to remember. I could figure this out just by doing this if I wanted to, but I take pictures so I don't have to worry about it anymore. This one I always screw up. I eventually figure it out. There. See, like I said, I eventually figure it out. That's why I take pictures. So I can look at my phone and figure it out. Can I just have a wet spot on here? Okay, this washer's going to go on there, but let's put a little bit of lube on both sides. There. The spring. Very clean off the spring. And this will hold all that down because this sits in a groove right there. Okay. This little spring here we will clean off too. I might not put this one, I'm not going to put this one on yet, but we're going to clean it. I'm going to clean that other spring too. And the C-clip and the other washer, the last washer. And then we're going to get this other linkage piece cleaned. This is this blue towel is it's generic Scott's towel. Now I want to show you one thing too. This piece you cannot take off. It is pretty free. It does move as it needs. However, we are gonna clean it as much as we can. I can't take it apart to clean it the way I want to, so I'm just dribbling naphtha on it to work out any old grease that's in it. I should have actually cleaned this piece first and let it sit. So I recommend clean this piece first and let it sit. But thankfully, that naphtha dries out so quick. All right. And the same thing with this piece right here. We're going to put lube on this. We're going to lube that too. So if anybody's just joining me or tuning in, I'm Mark from Mark's Basement Arcade. I have a YouTube channel, Mark's Basement Arcade, and I do a lot of EM repair work. I'm getting more into solid state and DMD machines too. So if you're into that, please check it out, like and subscribe. There's my YouTube channel. If you want to click on that, please check it out. I have very in-depth videos on rebuilding all these mechanisms for a lot of machines. A lot of machines are very universal. So if you're rebuilding a Williams, you can basically watch almost any Williams video I have and work on them. I got Gottlieb, Bally. My newest games I have is Taxi, World Cup Soccer, Sorcerer will be coming up. I did a full playfield swap on a Sorcerer. That will be coming up. Alright, that's clean. Now, this is where this comes into effect. This is a Super Lube lubricant pen. Get back over here. This is just a cap for it. You can't take this apart to lube it. So I'm going to drop a couple drops of lubricant on here and just get it to work in to it. Just by going like that, it will work itself back and forth into it. You just need a little bit, not a lot. You don't want it dribbling all over the place. That's no in the garbage. And we just go like this. Now, it just falls real super nice. There, look at that. Now we'll wipe off, take a clean part, and wipe off any little extra that's bleeding out. This is an important part right here. This, you can see how freely it moves now. That is very important part of the mechanism. You know what else is important? Keeping your hands clean. Alright, this towel is done. New one. Alright. Remember we did lube this here. We're gonna put a little bit on here. Pinky time, just a very little dab. Right there and right there. See, here's the piece, right there and there. That way when it rides in the mech right here, it's lubricated. There. Right down in here. It's fully lubricated now. We're going to take this, a little dab. This tube I've had for a couple of years. That's how little I use. That goes on there. That is actually how little I use. And I've done a ton of mechs that I've rebuilt. And that is clipped on and fully seated. There, that's beautiful. And we're going to put a little bit on here too, because these two ride on each other. Remember, anytime you got metal to metal, it is good to have a little bit of lubricant on just those parts right there. Okay, now this, I have a little bit I need to put on there. This I usually do a little bit more because it needs to go all the way around and it needs to go into that hole. I'm going to put it right on the edge here because this is kind of like a bushing, and then all down that shaft. Alright, now I'll show you something that's neat about this. This right here is a built-in stop that goes right here. This makes this so it cannot spin any other direction. As you can see, it gets to there and it stops. It can't go anymore. It stops. So now we're going to take this. Jesus, that just bent to hell. We're going to go 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to put it on there. And we're going to actually have to bend that a little bit because somebody hacked it up. We need to bend this end a little bit so it's tighter on here so it doesn't pop itself off. I do not like doing that, but somebody didn't give me the choice. I'm going to have to loosen that up. Let the tension go back out so I don't have to fight it. But see, yeah, somebody decided to tear it up, and then it's bent too. I'm surprised the spring just doesn't snap. That's just horrible. I need to get another pliers so I can bend it straight. I don't want that. I want this one. We need to bend that so it's perfectly straight. Almost. It's a bad kink on here. Almost. See if I can grab it with this one better. Alright. That's pretty good. Now we just gotta bend it a little bit so more it's flat. Alright. 1. Let's do this. I'll take this out of here. And we'll put it here. All right. 1, 2, 3. I don't know how good that's going to sit. I'm probably going to still have to bend that tight. Squeeze it together. So it doesn't snap off, which you shouldn't have to. But like I said, somebody just didn't know what they were doing. Got their hands in here. All right. All right. That's good. Okay. The spring goes here. There. The shorter spring goes from this post to this post. This spring goes from here to here. Alright, now when we do this, as you can see, it's stepping up perfectly, and I'll get to a spot it can't anymore. Look at that. That's pretty good. Let's see if I can get you a little tighter. It should only go up 10. So that'd be ball 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that was, yeah. Game over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't go up anymore. You only get 10 balls. That's why the teeth on this thing are, there are no teeth. They're grouped. It looks like they're wore off, but really they're not. That's designed to be that way. So I can't advance anymore. And this is ball counting down. You can't count down anymore because we're on 0, game over. Alright. Let me get this switch back to where it goes. Screwdriver. Man, that donut is doing its job. I could just quit eating sweets altogether. Maybe I shouldn't just eat sweets as a meal. You ever think of that, Mark? Sweets are not good as a meal. So if you're just joining in, this is Williams Spanish Eyes that I'm refurbishing. And it will be at the Midwest Gaming Classic. If you want to come play it or take it home, it will be for sale. I don't know what I'm going to ask for it yet, because I haven't got it back together yet. I don't know what all it needs. Okay. Where are we now? We're there. And then when I open this up, I want to get these. I want to get these contacts adjusted. Let's clean them first, because you know what? I'll get it adjusted perfect, and then I go to clean it, and then I'll unadjust it. This is a little Harbor Freight Dremel, and I think it's a 643 bit or something like that, 443 bit. It's just a little wire wheel. And that just cleans the contacts. 443? I can't remember. So now I want to clean, well, not clean, I want to adjust this. We get a gap there. Still not good. I will explain more when I get it done. I have to get these adjusted so it's on the last ball. This opens up. It's almost there. Well, actually, when it gets to like game over ball, the last unit, it opens up. Bring that up a little bit more. Why do I feel like that's bent there? Okay. A little bit too much. Take a little tension off that there. Perfect. Just about. I want these to move a little bit. It's not going to move too much. I can't see what I'm doing. This is where paper comes into play. And this is a good thing to have, white paper, so it lets you see the contacts if they open and close. We can get that up a little bit higher. That's just too much. It's not making good contact. I need it to make decent contact. Gotta come up a little bit more, Mark. Are we opened or are we closed? I need a flashlight. I need glasses that are bifocals. That's what I really need. Make some use out of that bell. I'll actually, there. As soon as I get this figured out, let's bring this up a little bit more. Ooh, I think I got that. Alright. We got a gap there. Sorry, you gotta see my head. Alright. Finally. Jeez. I am very odd about getting my contacts correct. It's like ADD or something. This is the last ball, which would be game over. This contact needs to open when this rod hits that. As you can see, when I go up one ball, it closes now. It's letting the machine know that there's still balls in play. The wiper is what tells the lights how many balls are left. As long as this is closed, the machine thinks there's balls in play. So when we count down and get to that last ball, 1 and 2, that opens. It should be opened. And it is. It's open just enough. So when you get on 1, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 1, game over. That opens, and that's what you want. This right here basically activates that knocker every time. If it needs it, and it does other things too. But I know that will fire the knocker. Alright, that's done. This whole side is completely finished. Alright. Let's flip it. Let's flip it over and get that wiper on. I want to see how it sits on there before I screw it down. And the clean pinky. We're putting a little on here. I know it looks like a lot, because it kind of is. But I'll show you what I do. I've seen people just slather this stuff on. Alright. There. Now there's a very, very fine layer on there. That looks good. I just want to see how it's going to move. That's my other thing I want to watch. tighten it down. I'll have to untighten it, loosen it. This one's not in a good spot. It's like touching two of them. Everything else is okay. That means this one is just bent a little bit. Okay, which way is it going to go? That's probably why they had it bent. It's just all whacked out and bent out of shape. That's why they bent it. They're all other lined up. If I do adjust it, these are going to be off, and the other ones will be. It's just so out of whack. I'm afraid if I turn it, you can list, there's a screw here and a screw here. If I turn it, it's going to throw all the other pads off too much. I'm going to adjust it. I normally don't do this, but I think somebody went in here and really did a number on it at one time. You should really never have to adjust this. What I did was I loosened these screws, and you can actually take this whole assembly and turn it a little bit. Let's do this. I do not like doing this. I hate doing this. Like I said, somebody was in here before me and decided to monkey with things. Alright, get on there. And I can tell they're all just a tiny little bit off. Okay. Okay, let's do that. See how I can take this? I can take the whole board. See how it's turning? You can do that and get some fine adjustments out of it. is that one? So now if I do that, these are all out of whack. You know what I mean? Let's look at this thing again. Let's see how bent this is. It does got a twist to it. That's what happens when you guys get into these and you don't understand how they work and you start twisting them. You don't need to be twisted, just clean the machine properly. They're all got a little twist to them. And you shouldn't have any issues. Alright. That looks better. Let's get this back down. So if any of you are just joining me, this is a Williams Spanish Eyes ball count unit. I just rebuilt it, but I'm having issues with it lining up, so I loosened the 2 screws on this plate so I can line up all these tabs. But then they were all lining up except for one, so I took it back off and I noticed they're all bent pretty bad. So I decided to go through and bend them all straight. And I believe I can crank it that way just a little bit. That should be good. Now let's get this apart without twisting the board and messing up the adjustment. These 2 screws, you can loosen these 2 screws and actually take this whole board and give it a little twist to do some minor adjustments. But technically you should never ever have to do it. Once it's like set from the factory, it's good. It's just somebody has been in here and bent up all the fingers on here. Some are twisted and stuff, and it seems like they loosen this up and then adjusted it a little bit to compensate for it, and then put it back together and still bent the fingers. So I just went through and straightened out all the fingers as best as I could. And now if I can get my hand in there, where's the... It seems like this one right here was not hitting everything good. Let's tighten this down all the way too. Wasn't hitting everything good. And we were still having like little adjustment problems. So yeah, It's like right here, I'm having a little bit in here. These should be on the pads. It's like the whole board needs to turn this way just a little bit. So now it's kind of off a little bit right here. So if I turn the board a little bit that way, if I turn it that way, it's perfect for these contacts, but then not perfect for this one, because that one would be off even more. Or would it? Give it a little turn that way. That would be more centered. And then these would be off. It's just that these were bent so bad. I'm going to have to kind of tweak them all to do what they need to do. I can't get them perfectly straight anymore because they've been so bent over the years. It's just horrible when people do this. All right. I think I got them bent as straight as they were. Now they're not touching. That one's touching. That one's touching. That one's touching. Touching, touching, touching. I think that's good. That one's really tight. Alright, I believe this is adjusted good now. After I gave it a little tweak and then straighten these out as best as I could. And I still ended up bending them a little bit just to get them back to where they were. These fingers were all bent up pretty good, and I don't think they're back exactly in a right orientation. Because if you bend them shorter, they don't need to move as far, if you can kind of understand what I'm getting at. And if you bend them so they're longer, they need more of a reach, and then a reach further out on the fingers instead of short. So it kind of like throws everything off. But I feel they're all lining up correctly now. Yes. And now these two will line up. Yes, I feel that's good. That's still touching. This is so bent. Let's do this. I can test if they're touching. Get my my meter out. Okay, those are touching, which is good. And then that is, those are touching. And this is touching this. Yep. See, I'm, let's bring this out a little bit more. this is one piece of metal here, so technically, if I push on this, I'll make it beep. But I don't want to. I want the pressure of these two together make the contact. So I know these are connecting properly. Now these two are one piece. So if I go to this tab and this tab, I know they're touching. And since these two are one piece, and if I go to this tab and this tab, I know they're touching. Now, if I move it, and I go to this tab and this tab, they are not touching anymore. So I know this is no longer being in contact with this. And this, I think, is, yes, this tab right here is the same with this and this, which is good. And then this one is still in contact with that. Okay. That's the way you can test. Let me get it way off. Okay. Now we're at a totally different thing. Now I want to test this to make sure this is not touching. And we're not. Because if this right here was touching this, I'd get a beep. So now I want to go and see if this is in contact, which is good. And this with that. Okay, I believe everything is perfect now. That's a little way you can kind of trick it in, because technically if I do push this down, I know it's gonna be contacting. I want to know if the pressure of itself is making enough contact writing on those, and which it is, which is good. So if anybody's just joining me, I put up my YouTube link. I do EM repair, and I do it on a bigger scale than what you see here, and I go into more depth where I show you more of what I have. So yeah, please subscribe if you're interested in what I'm doing. This is a Williams Spanish Eyes, if you're interested in this. It will be at Midwest Gaming Classic. I'll put up a link for that too. There's a Midwest Gaming Classic. Come check that out. Buy some tickets. It's November 5th through the 7th, 2021. This year it's at an odd time due to the COVID. So normally it's in April, I believe. So check that out. Please come. You can play this if you want to, and if you really, really, really want to, you can take it home too. It's for sale. I am just going through and fully refurbishing this game because it wasn't loved like an EM needs to be loved. And I'm just giving it the love it needs by rebuilding it. So I have the head laying down on a table. I prefer to work on them like this. It just makes it easier for me to get at all the bolts and stuff like that. I need to tighten that one better. 11/32. I just can't get at it with that in the way. 11/32. It's a little easier with this. These don't have the lock washers on them anymore. Somebody was in here messing with it. Alright. That's working beautiful again. Yes, I love it. Alright, that's all done. We have it fully rebuilt. It's working like butter. It's doing its thing. This unit I still don't know what we're doing with because we're missing parts. Now what I'm going to do is put this on free play. I normally would rebuild this mech if I had coin parts, but I don't. So we're just gonna put it on free play and not rebuild it. This game is missing things. Okay. We're down all the way. And if we bring it up one, we contact two of them. I think it's on free play already. How bent up are we? I need to see. It's a lot of times easier to put it on free play. Okay, we are not contacted. We're contacted there and there. What is this hitting? That's fish paper. Okay, I believe that top one is this max. No, this is max credit right there. It's missing a rod. That's max credit right there. Let's just see. Okay. I believe it would be these two. I don't know. Well, I think we're going to skip that, and when it's in the head, I will just jumper it and figure out which one's free play and not. Because sometimes it's the top, and then sometimes it's the one after that. I think the last couple times it was this one. So I think we're just going to skip putting that on free play right now. And we will just go to these relay banks, and we will clean them up. How does that sound, everybody? I think that sounds like a plan. And we might come back to this yet. Like I said, I have a bell for it. Here's the bell. And I want to put the bell in it. But if I can't find parts to rebuild this match unit, I'm going to cut it off and put the bell in it. What this does two things, and that's it. What it does is when you win a free game, it will light up on the top of the back glass what number your 10 digits were. Like, let's say if your last score was 20 and this matched at 20, it would give you a free game. It's on free play right now, so technically you do not need that anymore. And what it does, every 10 points, it will ding the bell. So every time you hit 10 points, you will get that, and then this will spin around. And what it does, it just keeps rotating from 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. It just keeps randomly going back and forth on that. And dinging every time it does that. That way when the game's over, whatever, let's say this ended up being at 30 and your score was 70, you would not get a free game. So that's really all this unit does, is dings at every 10 point. The 10 point changes the match, and that's about it. So it doesn't need it. I would like to keep it in there just because if someday somebody decided to put this on quarter play, you could win free games. But if I can't find the parts, I will put this in it right there and with a new coil, and we will just, every time you get 10 points, it will just fire that bell. I don't want to do that. I think I have another credit, some type of mechanism I can take some parts off and fix this. Half of it's here and half of it isn't. The part that hits the bell is in here, and the part that rides in here isn't. Boys, that's sticky. That's real sticky. And I know this coil shot too, so they disconnected it. So, like I said, this is not needed to make the game play. It's just this game never made a ding ding when you want it. Alright, so it's about 4 o'clock. Maybe we'll do these relays and maybe this next time. But let's start cleaning these. This is on Pinball. So if you take this jumper off, can we zoom in on that? Okay, here's this jumper. It's got 3 settings. You can pull it out. You can put it down here on this connection. And it's on novelty. It's just a game. You put it up here. You win free games. Who cares about that? It's on free games to begin with. You put it in the middle, and we're on add a ball. I'd rather do that than win free games on a game I don't pay nothing for anyways. Where are we here? This is green Scotch-Brite pad. I am just cleaning the Jones plug part of it. So it makes a good contact when it's actually on. They add a ball. This works really good if you got a brand new Scotch-Brite. Mine's not. So I'm actually pushing it back and forth. I'm going to the left, now to the right to clean the insides. Now these you don't really have to clean because they squeeze. They squeeze like this. And here's my Sharpie. When you push the Sharpie in, it spreads them and it scrapes as it goes down and it holds it tight. And when you pull up, it scrapes again, and then they get closer. So technically, as long as this is clean, those teeth are gonna scrape on this and redo it, make the contact. But you can squeeze. They have little legs. Do I have my spare parts around here? Where did I put that? I have Jones plugs. I can kind of show you a little better if I know where it is. Is that it? I think it's back there. I should always have this out when I'm talking. It's not it. Where is it? Where's my spare parts of Jones plugs? Okay, I cleaned the basement. When I cleaned the basement, where did I put them? I'll find them after the stream is over, I know that. Oh, there they are. I knew I'd find them. Okay. Alright, I got Jones plugs. so you can see it better. Alright. Why did I get such a giant one? Okay. Let's zoom this in tight. Alright. Here's what I'm talking about. These on a Jones plug. You can squeeze these together more right here. Let's do it on this one. Okay. You can see how I got that squeezed together more. This is what scrapes. Get that a little tighter. This is what scrapes as it goes in. Now as you go in, let's clean this one off just for neat purposes. So you can see the example. I'm not going to get it perfectly clean. I'm going to get it just a little cleaner. Alright. When this goes in now, where are we? Right here. When this goes in, this is going to push these two apart. This is going to go that way, and this side is going to go that way. And it's going to make a real tight connection. See how they spread? Now this scraped all the way down, so theoretically this should be nice and clean. I've never had an issue with these, cleaning these before. I've had them where you can see this one right here, it's loose. Let's pull this back out. Oh, it's going to be even harder because I tightened that one out. Oh yeah. This one you can see, you know, it's not the best. See if I can get it in the manual focus. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Oh, I hate when I do that. Here we go. Well, all right. This one, you can see it's bent out. So that one's not going to make a good contact. So I take it and I bend it back in. There. Now we're going to make a good contact. Is that the best focus I can get? Yeah, that's probably about it. It's hard to do it because there we go. This was bent out like that. See how it's bent out? It wasn't making good contact. But now you can bend it in. Now this Jones plug is good. It's going to make a good scrape when the male part goes into the female part here. And you're going to get a good, tight grip. Let me go back to autofocus. Where was this at? Oh, I don't even know what this setting is. Oh, it's changing my white and dark. I don't like messing with that. Alright. Auto white balance. I'll have to figure that out after we get that done. But anyways, yeah, that's the Jones plug and how that works. Are we still on? You're on autofocus now. But yeah, that's how you can tighten them up and get a better, even more better contact. A better contact. And what's neat about Jones plugs too, you have this here, and this is where your wires are. You could never put it on there wrong, because this is hitting this and it won't let it go. So this can only go on that way, like that. Pretty cool. So I think we're done with this for today. It's after 4. We've been streaming for 2 hours. And we've been putzing with this because it was a little bit of a nightmare. But we did get it fixed perfectly. The coils were good on it. They all came apart. I can show you how to test a coil real quick. You ohm test them. I know these were all ohm tested. Take your multimeter. We're going to put it on this horseshoe thing, in case you don't know what that is, but that's ohms. And get it so you can see it without a glare. Of course, every way I can get it. Okay. See, it says OL. And we're going to put it here and here. See, now it says 7.5. That means it's good. It's a 7.5 ohm coil. And then this one is 2.4, 2.5-ish. It's a good coil. Now if this thing was 0.01 or lower, or it just said OL, the coil's garbage. Oh, we gotta tighten this up too. I can't forget that. I didn't tighten that up all the way. I'm glad I saw it. This, you don't have to He-Man this either. You do it too tight, it's not gonna reset fully either. I can see that's got a twist on it from here. Alright, that's how you ohm test a coil. And that's how I know those coils were good. Didn't even have to plug them in and see them fire or anything. I just knew they were good because I ohm tested them. And the coil sleeves came out really easy. They almost fell out. Sometimes you have to pound them out. You can pound them out with a 9mm long socket. Am I on the right camera? No. I use a 9mm long socket. Let's move over here. Wrong way. I forgot it backwards. I use a 9mm long socket, and you can pound out the coil sleeves out of the coil and put a new one in. A lot of times you get something stuck, a switch or something, and the coil is, think of it as a little toaster. It's just wire that's wrapped around that can hooks to both spots. What you're doing is you're applying power to it, which makes it into kind of like a magnet with that plunger. And if you hold it too long, it generates heat and more heat, and that plastic will start to melt a little bit. Sometimes the coil sleeve will melt inside. But you can take a 10mm socket. I'll show you over here. I'll get a coil out. Where's my socket? Nope, wrong one. There we go. 9mm. You can take 9mm socket. You got your coil here, and your socket. The socket is actually the exact same thickness of the plunger. Well, actually, it's a little bit thicker. It's the exact same thickness of the inside of the coil. And as you can see, when I push the sleeve in, it will push the socket up. So technically, if you've got a sleeve that's stuck on here, you can take this and hit it with a hammer and push that stuck sleeve straight out. And then take your 9mm long socket out, take your new coil sleeve, and push it in. Sometimes it will be a little tight, but as long as this ohm tests good, it should be a perfectly good coil. If it ohm tests good, and you can get the coil sleeve in here, And I don't have plunger in here for it. And as long as it's not so tight that the plunger rides smoothly, you can reuse the coil. You don't need to get a new one. And another fun fact, coils either work or they don't work. They don't get weak. A lot of people are like, oh, my flippers are weak. I put new coils on them. It's not going to help it. If your flippers are weak, chances are your sleeves are scuffed up from your plungers being dirty. So you get the friction of the plunger going in and out of the sleeve. 1. 2. Somebody greased them and made them sticky. 3. Your EOS switch is poorly adjusted or dirty. 4. Your flipper mechs are loose and sloppy. 5. You could have a bad flipper bushing. 6. You could have some weird electrical issue where you're not getting the right amount of power. But I would say 99% of the time, half the time, 50% of the time, it's either a dirty coil sleeve that needs to be changed because somebody lubed it, no, or your EOS switch is opening too quick, or it's just dirty. A lot of times if you get them to open real quick, you lose power on your flippers. The EOS switch is there for your flipper, so like when you hit the button and you cradle the ball and you keep the flipper up, that EOS switch cuts the main power to the coil because your flipper coils are like 2 coils in one, and it changes it to a different coil that's inside of it, so you can hold it longer and use less power, and you're not going to melt your coils. So that's what that EOS switch is. Now if you have it engaged too quick, you're going to take the power part of the coil and turn it off quicker, and you're going to, you're going to get the lower part of the coil, so you're going to have little flippy, weak flippers instead of that snap. So that's the thing. It's either you get bad EOS switches or bad coil sleeves. So if your coils test okay, they're working. But I have seen it too where the little wires that go around the coil and they go to the lugs, they have break off or they're intermittent contact, so you can actually reflow the solder on them, get them back on. And I have seen where the coils have heated up so much they actually melted the sleeve and they caused the plunger to stick, so it doesn't go in and out real good, and that will cause bad flippers. Your coil's good, but it's melted. It's still good, but it's melted, so it's creating friction on the plunger and it's not letting it go in and out. So theoretically then your coil is bad because it's melted. I'm thirsty. I got my mug. This is from Wild Bill's soda. They were at the last MGC. If you bought a mug like this, you get free refills. You also got a cool mug. This is like a perfectly insulated mug. I love using it. I love this Stream Deck. It's so cool. So yeah, please check out my YouTube page, Mark's Basement Arcade. Mark's Basement Arcade. This is a clue for what's underneath here. That's the first part of the game name, And this is the second part. I can't touch that. That's all it is. You figure out what this means. Second word. My wife's gonna kill me if I get that dirty. Did I? No. First word, second word. You can't see it. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, that's the bottom. It's not going to help you. Anyways, yeah, thanks again, everybody, for watching. And like, subscribe, and I guess that's about it. So I shouldn't be here next Sunday, but if nobody's streaming on Saturday, I will try to be here on Saturday and stream. And I need to get the Spanish Eyes done. It's got to be done by November. I have 1, 2, kind of 3 other customer games to do. I'm not doing any more this year. Don't be going and me. So I have Lucky 7. I just got the displays in and the computer's rebuilt, so now I can shop it. Baywatch is MGC's. Right there, that's MGC's machine. I have to shop that. That was a trade. I get to play it and return it clean. It's filthy. And then I have a, I can't remember the name of the game, but it's like a 1930s or 1939 wood rail I have to do. So anyways, I guess that's about it, everybody. I love my Stream Deck. I can just touch buttons now. Instead of moving my mouse around and clicking stuff, I can just go do 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 do. Like I can go like